right, we are live. Jaiden Johnston's in the house.
Yeah.
Happy summer, everybody. We took a couple weeks off, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. It was nice.
Well, I didn't. I did. You didn't. So we're going to talk today, a little bit different podcast. We're going to talk today about Jaiden was working, and I was actually up at Lake Michigan, relaxing with my family. But Jaiden went to the social media week in Lima, Ohio. Her family's business is a big sponsor, so she's heavily involved in it. Full transparency, Jaiden, you don't get paid for this plugging of this social media week, right?
Correct.
That's right.
I'm just a huge fan.
Yeah. So next year I'm going, and we're going to talk about the dates. But it's a really good conference here in Ohio that a lot of people don't know about. So, and it's one of the bigger ones, like in the region or like in the Midwest, or right?
Ish. Yeah. I mean, and they keep it in Lima because the people that actually host this whole conference is now Marketing Group, and they are based in Lima. And so they like to be able to host it in their hometown, so that way it brings people to the community.
Yeah. So, I mean, for anyone, Lima's more Northwest Ohio, north of Dayton, about an hour, 20 minutes from Columbus. Dayton's about an hour right up off 75, so not too far to get to. So might be a great way to spend next June, just to spend a night, and learn about social media. So I didn't get to go. So I was, I was a little jealous. I know, but next year we're doing it. But I'm excited because I don't know a lot about what Jaiden learned. So she's going to talk today and to us about things. We're going to do top three things that Jaiden learned at Social Media Week a couple weeks ago. So Jaiden, without further ado, what's the first topic we're going to talk about?
So the first one we're going to talk about is called, I named it Get on Video. And every year, I mean, most people, they generally know that video is what catches people's eye, right? Everybody pushes get on video. So this conference, every year, they always touch on that because there's always different angles that you can take to it, whether it's reels or just getting on YouTube and doing YouTube videos. And the speaker they had on, his name was Owen Video. And one of the things that got me,
his name was Owen Video.
That's what his channel and things are called. It's Owen.
If his last name was really Video, he would be destined to be a social media person.
I know, right? Yeah, no, that's just what he's known for. So that's kind of like handle. His tag is like Owen Video. So, but he came out with, it's the blueprint to YouTube. And I took a lot from it because he had a really nice plan put together on how to create like different categories and stick to them, and just made it very simple and simplistic to follow. And and along with that, he was one of the speakers. And then there was another person on there named Julie Riley, and she talked a lot about live video. And like I said, this conference, it really pushes it because it wants you to be able to get the confidence to get out on camera. And it's kind of just giving you these tips and tricks on how to gain that confidence and what it means to have that confidence in your brand. I'm trying to think here. I lost my train of thought.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah. Ask me a question.
Getting on video, it's hard. And, not everyone's comfortable with it, because it kind of makes you exposed. Like when you take a photo on Instagram, you can doctor it up, make your
filters,
jaw a little bit more chiseled. You know what I mean? Right. Shed about 10 pounds here. But I guess my question is, was there any tips that they can give, that we can pass on to our listeners about like how to overcome the fear of getting on video? Did they say anything like practice in the mirror, or I don't know?
Well, they always say, like I said, the more confidence you have in your brand, the better. So just knowing your value and what you're bringing to the table and understanding all those features and factors can really help you just be able to get your message across. And then not to be worried so much about all the small things, like having your makeup done or having, the perfect lighting or anything. It's just more about starting. That's really what they push. Don't be intimidated by all the minuscule things that you really think you need. Over time, you can get those. And a lot of people don't have the budget to start right out the gate with the lights and the microphones and things. So it's just about trying to get on the camera and just start that repetitiveness of getting on the camera and just gaining that confidence.
So it's the paralysis by analysis. Don't do that. Yeah,
Yes,
I'm always going to throw that back at you. Yeah.
It's so true though. You get all these thoughts and you're like, oh, and you just freeze. You can't do it.
And if you're confident about a topic, that's always weird. Like one of the things that I always pride myself on, I could always talk to people about different things. I could talk to someone about $1 million house, and then that weekend I could talk about fishing to some fish guy at the local lake, different levels and whatever. But like, everyone, even people who are quiet, they have a passion. And if you can like find out what they're interested in, they'll talk your ear off, So maybe, is it kind of like that? Meaning like, like once you start out talking about a topic and, we're in real estate. So if you're like passionate about like selling homes in Lima, Ohio, then start talking about that because you're confident, you love it, and it'll come off easier instead of faking it. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. And then your confidence on camera will grow too, just the more that you do it. They talk a lot about being repetitive. Just start first off and then try to create a schedule. And that's where Owen's blueprint is awesome because it really makes a very simple path for you to follow. And it kind of just takes that process out of it. You don't have to come up with a plan. It's already made. So you just kind of
by that. What do you say a plan? What is the blueprint?
The blueprint essentially is, I kind of talked to you about it when we were talking about coming up with different categories for social media. So, he specifies it to YouTube and he calls it creating a silo. What I call a category, he calls a silo. So you'd have a silo over, I guess his example of the thing was like how to automate things. So that would be like the general title of your silo. And then you'd have 4 videos, one for each week of the month usually. And it would be the different ways to automate things.
Okay.
And there'd be a video on each one. Yes. Okay. And just being able to kind of have that structure, I think takes the pressure off. So you're able to start and don't get that paralysis by analysis.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then he was very clear that like on Monday you drop a video, Wednesday you drop a video, Friday you drop a video.
Well, it's about keeping in those different silos. So if the silo is about automation and you do one once a week and you post it on that same day every week. And then if you have another silo at the same time for a different day of the week, you see what I'm saying? And how he does it is he'll do the video and then he'll break it up. So Monday, he'll post it as a YouTube video. Tuesday, he'll break it down and post it as a reel. Thursday, he'll send it out as a direct email. So he'll try and use it in different ways to kind of get it all out there to different platforms. And
all right, just spread out the wealth, I guess.
Yes.
Was there any, I'll maybe ask this one question, we'll move on to the next one, because we can spend all day talking about this.
Really?
Was there any platform and feature of a platform that they really said, hey guys, right now you got to go heavy on whatever, like Gary Vaynerchuk, he was really heavy on TikTok. Now he's backing off of a little bit. YouTube Shorts, he's talking about that now. And then Reels, Facebook Reels. Did they mention anything about what's got a really good
algorithm? They did do a little bit on TikTok, which I thought was interesting. But it wasn't like a push, like, you have to be on TikTok. It was more just like an informative thing. And it seemed like I said, every year they don't really push a specific platform. It's just about getting on video in general.
Got it. All right.
Owen kind of stressed that, YouTube can be very beneficial and stated, same thing that Gary states about YouTube Shorts and how those are kind of taking over. But in the same aspect, Reels in general, the short form video is what's taking off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and even made a reference, people will say, oh, I don't have time to go out and watch a movie, but then they'll sit there and binge watch 8 episodes of Grey's Anatomy or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
People want to binge content like that. It's not that they
Attention
don't have
span's
time.
getting shorter.
Yes.
You're right. Yeah.
Yes.
Even especially little kids. I mean, it's warping their mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on. That was good. Thank you. So what's number 2?
So number 2 is, I labeled it start learning AI. And
AI, what's AI?
Very vague like that. Just start learning, because I am in the beginning process myself of learning AI. And the speaker that they had on, his name is Johnston. Yes, Johnston. And
these guys have some cool names,
They do. Yeah, you have
Adam,
genes,
Ashba.
right? Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna have to change our names for sure.
That's too funny. Yeah. But yeah, so he got on there and was talking about ChatGPT and how to utilize it in your business, and just kind of going over the different types of AI, which honestly, I'm very new. So some of this kind of went over my head, but what I got from it and what I'm taking from it is for content and for creating posts, for creating scripts for videos, like reels and things. If I want to do a blog of any sorts, how to get that content from ChatGPT. And essentially, the biggest takeaway I got, and this is going to sound so silly, is a metaphor that he used, which is that use ChatGPT like a cast iron skillet, meaning when you first get the skillet and you try to use it, it's absolutely terrible, right? Because it's not seasoned. It's not been used. It's not been, coated with all the goodness and things. Yes. So you want to treat ChatGPT the same way. So if you've used it before, when you open it up, it comes to that first, spot where you can put your question in. That is like its own page. So you can, as long as you keep asking questions under that question and commands, it'll learn for itself. So
it's crazy. Yeah.
Yes. And so to vaguely put it, essentially you can use it to build up its own personality. So it'll kind of anticipate what you're wanting when you ask the question. So I'm hoping to use it for my content and for scripts for reels, because I've already tried it a few times, and I'm using, like I said, it's like the same tab in ChatGPT and asking similar questions to this tab over and over. And the scripts that are coming out are just getting better and better and better. So just start learning AI is the biggest thing.
Did they mention anything? I was looking, and we've used this on training videos for Ashmont, but you can actually create an avatar, but it looks like you.
Yeah.
And then do your reels and your videos. The only thing is, like, I've seen it and it seems kind of creepy. I mean, it's not animated like, hey, Jaiden, how's everything going? It's not like that. It's more like, hi, Jaiden, how are you today? It doesn't look right. It almost looks like an alien stole my body and looks like me, but something's not right about him. Did they talk about that at all? Or is it more just script writing where it's at? Like, does that make sense?
The script writing is kind of what I took from it. He kind of briefly mentioned that, but that was kind of what I grasped onto, because I'm like, oh, that's what I can use, like what I can implement for me. But he did briefly touch on about the avatars, and pretty much basically just what you said. And he kind of even stated the same thing, if I remember right, that it was they're not quite
there yet.
Words to use. Yeah, they're not all the way there yet. They're still working on them. Like, you could tell they have a lot more potential. That's what I was trying to say.
Got it. All right, very good. And number 3, what's the last one?
So this one, I thought I'd go off of the theme of Social Media Week this year, which was to emerge. So how to emerge in your business. That was the whole theme for the whole conference this year. And every year they really try to touch base on something like this. And the way they kind of introduced everything this year was the definition of emerge, which is to move out of or away from something so it can come into view. And I think kind of what they're saying with that is almost to take a step back and kind of evaluate your business. And they've touched on a bunch of different things, but I think some of the biggest takeaways I had was to try and be the most authentic you that you can be when it comes to your social media and marketing.
Okay.
At the end of the day, people want to deal with people, and they kind of touch base on, that B2B and B2C, business to customer, business to business. Like that's like not a thing anymore. It's human to human or human to machine. And I think thinking about that kind of helps you realize that you're dealing with people, especially in our business, real estate.
Yeah.
It's constant relationships. You can't do anything without it.
I always say it's all about relationships. I mean, it's not about house sell. I mean, are realtors one realtor way better than another one? I don't know. Maybe a little bit more knowledgeable maybe about stuff, but if they don't have that relationship, it doesn't make a difference.
Right. If they're not personable, that
Yeah.
knowledge that they even know is not going to come across anyway.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, for sure. And another thing that they talked about as far as being like authentic and emerging in your business is to not bury your genius. And some of the things that he talked about, I just lost his name. It was Terry. Here he is. Terry Weaver was the one that kind of talked about this.
That's his name, is Terry Weaver.
Terry Weaver. Yep, we got a plain Jane name this time.
Terry.
Yeah.
Bolt,
right.
Weaver. Okay, got it.
Terry Weaver. But he talked about, just kind of understanding where you're at in your business and making sure that there's nothing that you can control that's holding you back, that's preventing you from emerging. Whether that's, maybe not delegating enough, trying to be Han Solo, he's a huge Star Wars person. So all my notes are like Star Wars references. But he talks about, maybe feeling like you're stuck behind someone else's business, or you feel like you're failing. So you're kind of slacking because you feel like you're not doing enough. Just trying to push past the psychological barriers that you're creating for yourself, and how to identify those and push through so that way you can grow and emerge in your business. Yeah. Which I know that's kind of vague and things, but
no, I always say, like, why not you? Why not? Or why not us or whatever? Why not?
Why not?
I mean, someone's got to win. Why can't it be you?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. And then when you get over that, like, yeah, why can't I do this? There's nothing holding you back anymore. So yeah. Very good. All right. Well, I want to share this with everyone. So if you're on video, Spotify, this might not help. Well, we do have our video on Spotify, but if you're audio listening to us here, I'm going to share screen here. This is the website for Social Media Week in Lima. So if you can see here, next year, it's going to be June 19th and 20th. 2024. So it's always mid-June, right, Jaiden?
Yeah, always mid-June.
Okay. And you can go ahead and secure your spot today. There's a button there. So it's going to be June 19th and 20th, 2024. And we're going to go. So Jaiden and I will be there. And for those who listen, it'll be great to see everybody. So I don't know. Any last thoughts on Social Media Week?
I will say, if you're purchasing tickets, do purchase the VIP pass. That gives you an opportunity to network.
That's very important.
It's very important. It seems like it's just a VIP party, but you get to network with the speakers. That's everything.
Oh,
I mean, any questions that you get popped up or whatever, everybody is just hanging out. You can go right up to them and talk to them and get to know them. So
this is something after. This is on Wednesday night, because it's like Wednesdays, Thursdays, right?
Yep. So the first night, that evening, is the VIP party.
Okay. So if you buy the VIP package, you get to go to the party.
Yes.
Like drinks, food. Is that included?
Drinks, food, activities. Yep.
Okay.
So the conference itself will have food and things too. And then the VIP party will have all that as well.
Okay. You get to meet all the presenters and hang out.
They really do try to go to that event. I don't really remember any speakers not showing up, at least for a little bit. You know, they at least try to get in there for at least the first hour or so.
Okay.
And even in the event, you actually get to do like table talks and things, which is awesome. But the VIP party, it's just more relaxed, you know, down to earth.
All right. We'll have to do that then. So, all right. Well, Social Media Week next year, June 19th, 20th, 2024. Jaiden said buy the VIP package. That way you can get a little behind the scenes on that. But there's different packages that you can get. So, all right. Well, thanks, Jaiden, for sharing your experience. And I'm sorry I left you hanging.
No, it's okay. I'm dragging you next.
We're definitely going to do it next year. So, all right, guys. Well, if you want to hit me up or Jaiden, you can find us both on Facebook at Adam.Ashba and Jaiden.Johnston. You forgot to put your handle on there, Jaiden.
Oh, I did.
That's all right. I know it. I remember it. So hit us up on Facebook. We'd love to be your Facebook friend. So other than that, guys, have a great week, and we'll can't talk. See you next podcast. See you guys.
See ya.